We're just going to go over a basic collar choke from the back, okay? Most of you should know this. We're going to go over it so we can have it on video for those who need to focus on it a little bit more, okay? So, we typically do collar chokes in the gi. Why don't we just do a rear naked choke? Well, you can, but often with your opponent's collar, your sleeves, them grabbing your sleeve, things just get in the way, and it can be hard to do a rear naked choke. For those who have trained enough, you would know that even in no gi, it can be hard to do a rear naked choke with them just defending with their hands. When you add in collars and sleeves getting in the way, it can be hard to sink in the choke. So we typically go for the collar. Now, obviously, the choking arm is the arm that's on top, right? I can't choke with this arm because the shoulder's in the way. However, this arm that's underneath can open the collar for me, right? So I'm going to open the collar and reach in as deep as I can, as far as to bend my wrist, right? To get as deep as I can. That bend in my wrist, though, will get taken out as we apply the choke, okay? We bend our wrist to get deeper, but we always want to straighten out our wrists when we choke, so it doesn't become a weak point. That other hand now comes to the other collar, and it's not to get really deep, it's just to take the slack and put tension in the collar, because it, after all, is the one piece of material. Now, it doesn't feed around the back of Kieran's neck like a cable on a pulley, right? But it obviously, it does have a bit of give around the back. So once we get this first grip, this second hand comes over to the other collar just to keep tension in the collar, right? Now, when we finish this choke, you're typically not sitting up, you're typically lying on your side, okay? But we're just doing it sitting up for the demonstration purposes. What you don't do is extend your arms. When you extend, if Kieran just doesn't do anything and doesn't react, the choke will work, right? If I extend my arms and start pulling on the collar, the choke will work, okay? But the problem with that, we actually may need to lie down to demonstrate this. The problem with that is I lose my shoulder on the back of Kieran's head. So if I extend, he's just going to loop his head out from the choke, okay? So your shoulder needs to stay constant. So you don't straighten your arm, you pull your elbow back, okay? And that's what finishes the choke. So again, here, arm that's underneath opens the collar. Thumb in as deep as you can. Even bend your wrist, right? Now that hand comes to the other collar to take the slack out. And as we finish, we don't extend. We just pull our elbow back and we take the bend out of the collar. Out of our wrist. All right, simple collar choke from the back.